Hey everybody, it's Cat Sketch. Today we're going to do a makeup of a character with gigantic ears. It's a magical video today of Dumbo. Tim Burton is recreating Dumbo with Danny DeVito, who plays the ringleader, Eva Green, Colin Farrell, Michael Keaton, so much more. Made by Disney, so it's partnered with my two favorites, Burton and Disney. You know me, I love the magical and the creepy cute things. And it's out now, so I'm so excited to see it in theaters. But until then, let's turn into Danny DeVito when he's playing the ringmaster, Max, in the new movie Dumbo, with Dumbo body painted on my chest because we cannot forget the star of the show. So let's get started with this makeup tutorial. Of course, I have to let you guys know I am not naked doing this. I promise you, I'm just wearing a sleeveless top to do some body painting. And before I move on, as you can see, I have this red ring rash on my shoulder, but I promise you it's not infection or ringworm, it's just allergies. Probably came in contact with some clothing or something that I'm allergic to. I'm okay. And then we're gonna get some prosaide for our prosthetic adhesive with a disposable makeup sponge. We're putting that prosaide all over our neck, a little bit on our chest. Then we're getting this prosthetic by Rubberwear. And honestly, it's one of the most difficult prosthetics for me personally to put on. If you haven't been watching my videos for a while, I've suffered a lot of abuse in the past and I cannot stand having anything around my neck that feels like it's choking, and this definitely triggers that. But we're gonna stick some cotton balls inside the prosthetic, which makes it a little bit tighter, but it's gonna give that double chin, older effect, like our skin is aging and sagging, and we're gonna do a painting on our face to match the aging, sagging double chin of this prosthetic onto our face. You really want to make sure you do this carefully and that the seams are adhered on. You can even get a Q-tip with some more prosaide to make sure that those seams are delicately adhered to your skin. And once you think it's on, you're gonna get some prosaide cream if you need it. This is gonna patch up any cracks and crevices that the prosthetic is maybe bunching a little bit on. So we're slathering that prosaide cream on. As you can see, I'm gonna be frowning this whole time while I have this prosthetic on, only because it does not feel great. Once you think you have enough prosaide cream on and it looks like you just put glue and paste all over your face on the cracks and crevices and edges of it, I'm gonna make sure that's completely dry before getting a red stipple sponge with some liquid latex, and we're stippling that on the edges to make the prosthetic look like the same texture as your skin. Then I'm gonna make sure that's completely dry before getting some prosaide again, but with the red stipple sponge this time, and we're putting that all over the prosthetic. This is gonna make it so that whatever paint we put on this prosthetic, it's gonna adhere, and then we're gonna make sure that's completely dry before getting some mauve Mel Pax paint. Pax paint has some adhesives in it that makes it great for these foam latex prosthetics. It'll adhere to it. This is just the first layer. It's gonna give a look of more of a human-like face instead of just putting a prosthetic on. It's gonna give it blood flow. Once you have that all on your prosthetic and completely dried, we're gonna get our skin tone Mel Pax paint, the final tone of skin color. This is in the color Shibui. It's hard to pronounce, but it's the perfect skin tone for me personally, for my prosthetics, because I have a foundation that matches it perfectly. With the disposable makeup sponge, I'm putting a layer all over, making sure to cover all of that mauve Pax paint before making sure it's completely dry. Now it is time for foundation, the one I almost always use in prosthetic character makeups, the Covergirl Outlast Stay Fabulous 3-in-1 foundation in the color Buff Beige. It matches that Mel Pax paint flesh tone color perfectly. All over your face and down on your neck too, on the outer parts of the prosthetic. You want full coverage so that it blends seamlessly next to that prosthetic. Now I'm taking my Graftobian cream highlight and contour paint. I'm taking the contour color first, and I'm contouring and making some lines and wrinkles below my mouth, on my chin, and especially the laugh lines. When people age, their laugh lines sink in more, and it usually starts first there or around their eyes and frown marks. And I'm also doing little lines around my lips as well, and especially the under eye bags. I'm really looking at reference pictures of Danny DeVito in the movie Dumbo to do this, to do some frown marks, and I'm really gonna try to snatch and contour that nose, then get a very tiny, well, not the tiniest, I love the medium-sized beauty blenders to blend out all the contour and wrinkles on a face. I'm hollowing out my cheekbones, making them stick out more, because when you age, people are sinkers or saggers. The folds around his mouth seem to sag. I am not being ageist. I'm not being negative or trying to be negative towards older people. I absolutely love doing old age makeups and drawing old people because they have so much more life to them and expression and history behind their face. So recreating older people is like a dream for me. Not only are we contouring the sides of our face, but then we're gonna get our cream highlight from the same palette and start highlighting the top parts of our cheeks between the laugh lines and our eye bags. Speaking of eye bags, I'm also highlighting the eye bag. It's like these big eye bags he has, and I'm putting a little line near my waterline of highlight as well, and really concentrate around the outside of the eye bags too. Where I would put highlighter if I was doing a beauty makeup, I would put some highlight cream there and on my nose. On the tip of my nose and the bridge of it up towards those frown lines, and I'm putting it above the little parts of my nostrils as well to make that bottom part of my nose look wider. Then I get the damp beauty blender again, very lightly tapping it on my face to blend all that in to make it look more natural. Putting more highlight on my cheeks and especially my brow bone, because men tend to have bigger brow bones than females do. Of course, I'm a female, so I'm making sure to highlight that brow bone and around those eyes very well to make a heaviness and weighted feel, and on the lips too, where I did those wrinkles. In between the contour wrinkles on my lips, I'm putting highlight marks. Then blended that with a damp beauty sponge. Now we could move on to lipstick. Well, the closest to male lipstick, I'm getting this tinted cream blush, putting that on my lips to make them look a little thinner, and on my cheeks, and then blending that out with that damp beauty sponge, tapping it lightly just to give some sun-kissed look on the cheeks. Then I'm getting my Laura Mercier translucent setting powder with a fluffy blending brush and do the folds and wrinkles and all the detail on our neck. This is gonna really show our age. You can always tell someone's age by how their hands look in the neck and chest area, because it is very much exposed to the sun, and a lot of people forget to put sunblock on every day on those areas. So you can really tell someone's age by the wrinkles of their hands and neck chest area. Then I'm getting a black stipple sponge with some almost black, like a dark brown cream paint, and stippling some facial hair onto Danny DeVito's face like he has some stubble. We're not only getting the black cream paint, but once we're done with the first layer, I'm gonna get some white cream paint to make this great gray aged stubble hairs growing through the face. It's gonna look super natural if we just don't do the white. If you just do the white, it'll look like he fell in baby powder probably. I don't know why stubble is so much fun to do. You can put it on the upper lip, the sides near your contour of your face. Then I'm getting some cream highlight just to do some certain areas on my cheekbones, and more cream contour because I forgot to contour my forehead. This is going to drastically change the shape of my forehead, make it look more like it's been weathered by the sun since I'm a lot older. Then I'm getting my Benefit brow product. This is like a dark brunette brow, the brow contour, the fine pencil one, and I'm putting some fine line hairs. Then I'm getting some white cream paint with a thin angle brush to do some detailed white gray brow hairs. It's gonna mimic the color of gray brow hairs with this, just like how we did with the stubble on our face. We're doing that with our brows now. You want to do hair-like motions with the brush to make it look more realistic. Then I'm getting some translucent setting powder with a very big fluffy brush, lightly tapping that all over the face to set it once you think your makeup's completely done of the face. Then I'm getting some gray crepe wool that I blended earlier with some white crepe wool, which is fake hair, some darker grays, medium grays, a little bit of black in there to make Danny DeVito's hair when he's playing the ringleader in Dumbo. I'm gonna clip it with some clips, and I'm just doing this. As you can see, the rest of my hair is gonna be covered in a top hat actually, so I'm just clipping it there, and you can put some prosaide on your skin in front of your hairline, not on your hair, to make sure it's connected to your skin. Once that's on, we're gonna get that top hat. Any black top hat will do. I even got some mascara because when you do foundation, even on male clients, their lashes may be colored. Skin tone from the foundation you put on, so you don't want that. And with that, we are done turning into Danny DeVito from the movie Dumbo. He looks naked and too young on the chest, to be honest, right now. But we're gonna paint his costume in Dumbo. It's gonna be great. But I'm just making sure, looking at myself in the camera to make sure I really look like him before moving on to the next steps. Now it is time to paint Dumbo. I got some gray aqua paint. This is from Graftobian. They make my favorite color, gray aqua paint. And we're doing the big circle and the big ears of Dumbo, painting the silhouette of Dumbo's head with his nose at the bottom. It kind of reminds me of a mouse, if a mouse had an extended nose. Dumbo's like if an anteater and a giant-eared mouse had a baby. It'd be Dumbo. So once you have the silhouette of Dumbo's head with his nose in gray painted on your chest, we're gonna move on to this OFRA eyeshadow pro palette because I need the pink and the black matte eyeshadows from this. We're starting off with the pink matte eyeshadow. You can use blush if you want for this, or you can just get a ringleader costume and call it a day. Maybe Curious Stuff Dumbo with you. This is a lot of work, so it took me 4 hours. But as you can see, I'm blending that pink eyeshadow in areas where his ears are pink, and on the tip of his nose too I did, and some black matte eyeshadow with a very thin detailed push liner brush that's super tiny. Or if you have an angle brush, you need something thin that will do detail and fine lines. To do the outline of his ears, then getting a blending brush, an eyeshadow blending brush with that matte black eyeshadow to do the shadows around the ears. You really want to look at reference pictures of Dumbo. I know he's CGI and animated, but we're trying to recreate this CGI Dumbo from a realistic Dumbo elephant into Dumbo, the CGI version, onto ourselves. That sounds complicated. This was an easy task, but I'm shading around his nose, around his other ear. You really have to make sure you know where to put your shadows and blending and shadows around the ears for depth. We're doing darker shadows inside the ears, leaving the top parts of the ears light gray. And we're even shadowing in that ball in the center between the ears to give his face some definition so it's not just a round gray circle. Then with that push liner brush, we're doing more outlining of his face. And then I'm getting some of the blue eyeshadow from that same eyeshadow palette, matte blue, that's very bright, to do his beautiful, sparkling little blue eyes. Dumbo's eyes are like my favorite, apart from his ears. Going back with that tiny push liner detail brush with the matte black eyeshadow to color in around the eyes, and getting some black liquid liner to color the pupils of Dumbo's eyes. Back with the matte black shadow and the tiny push liner brush. You're gonna be tired of me talking about matte black eyeshadow, but it gives so much detail to body paintings and layering on top of body paintings in this. Doing all those wrinkles and cute folds of a baby elephant's face. You really wanna make sure you also get some white cream paint to do the white sparkleness of his blue eyes. Reflecting in the sun. You can even do more shadow with the blending brush where you think you need it. And once you think you have Dumbo down perfectly and looks like the cute Dumbo face, we're gonna get some white aqua paint. Cause like I said, you could have bought a costume, but I'm gonna paint mine on cause I am extravagant and over the top. With this Wolfe Brothers, they make my favorite white aqua paint. The hydro color in white, we're making a bow tie and little shirt top. Once you have the white base down, silhouette of that bow tie, we're gonna get some red hydro color aqua paint. I am using Wolfe Brothers. You can use Graftobian, Midnight, anything you want, or Mayron. And I'm getting a flat, medium size rectangle makeup brush to paint and get the detail around Dumbo, between Dumbo and that bow tie situation. We're putting this red to outline Dumbo and the bow tie to start the outfit, the jacket of this ringleader. Then with a bigger body painting brush, I am painting the rest of the red, covering the shoulders and areas where I want my jacket to reach. You could do 1 or 2 layers is best. Wait for each layer to completely dry. Once you think you have enough pigmentation of the red outfit, we're gonna move on to some black matte eyeshadow with the tiny push liner brush again for detail to start the bow tie detail. But then I moved on to a very thin detail brush with some aqua paint, black aqua paint, to do the pinstripe, the individual pinstripes down to the nitty-gritty details of this bow tie on the ringleader. You can tell this is a Tim Burton movie because there's black and white stripes in it, and it's not just a regular bow tie. Tim Burton pays attention to detail in not only the actors and how they act, but the scenery of the stage, and the wardrobe is amazing on these. So we have to make the wardrobe, the tie of this, black and white and just as detailed as it was in the movie. Once you have enough pinstripes, this is really difficult to do. We're going to outline it in black, do some shadowing around that bow tie, and start drawing the outline of the collars of that jacket that the ringleader wears and on the armpits too, before moving on to matte black eyeshadow with a giant brush to do some shadows around the collar in areas where the outfit's gonna fold and crinkle and look a little bit more realistic. We're gonna start layering on some stuff. Speaking of stuff to layer on, I'm getting some red matte eyeshadow from a totally different palette. I just had some red burgundy eyeshadow. You can use blush or eyeshadow, but make sure it's matte and deep. We're layering that on top of this red jacket because it's not like a bright fire hydrant red jacket in the movie. It's more of like this deep, rich red that's like a blood burgundy red. I'm getting some black aqua paint with the very thin brush again, not to do the detail on the bow again, the bow tie, but on Dumbo's face. We're outlining his whole face and ears. Then with the matte black eyeshadow and a powder puff, I love this idea. I always get it with some matte black eyeshadow and start rubbing that on my skin where I want the jacket and coat to have darkness and folds, where the jacket folds into my armpit and the collar on the sides of my arms. And with that, we're completely done, turning into Danny DeVito in the movie Dumbo when he plays the ringleader, Max. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and are excited to see Dumbo as much as I am. You know me, I'm a huge fan of Tim Burton. He's very much inspired me to create this makeup channel and my art since the beginning. This makeup took me a long time, and it made me really want to do another video where I show you how to do old age makeup with just simple cream paints, because it's so much fun and it takes a lot of time and practice. So leave me a comment down below on what you would love to see on this YouTube channel next. Not only these effects videos, but what beauty makeup trends or anything you guys would love to see. I would love to hear your opinions. Now it's time for me to turn back into myself. Thank you so much for watching and supporting my channel. If you guys do this makeup or any makeup on my YouTube channel, please post it on Instagram and tag me #CatSketch. I would love to see it. All the products I use in this video will be listed down below in the description box as always. You have to make sure you take off prosthetics correctly. I'm so glad to take this off of my neck. I hate stuff that's on my neck that feels like I'm being strangulated. It might not feel like other people are being strangulated when they wear this. It's just me personally. I just have issues with my neck and my traumatic past. But aside from that, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Make sure to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I'm everywhere. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Make sure you shower so that you don't stain your skin if you do this. Bye.